Welcome back to the channel. The 2025 Benda LFC 700 marks a bold and unorthodox entry into the middleweight cruiser segment, a category long dominated by legacy players like Harley Davidson, Yamaha, and Honda. But where others have often followed tradition, Benda is intent on carving its own path, with a motorcycle that blends Chinese engineering ambition with aggressive design and futuristic elements. The LFC 700 doesn't just want to compete, it wants to redefine expectations around what a modern muscle cruiser from China can look and feel like. Right from the first glance, the LFC 700 demands attention. The styling is unapologetically radical, with a long and low stance that immediately evokes images of concept bikes or futuristic customs. At 2.45 meters in length, it's one of the longest production motorcycles on the market, giving it a stretched, almost dragster-like profile. A massive 310mm rear tire adds to the exaggerated proportions, pushing the visual weight rearward and giving the bike a stance that looks planted and powerful, even when it's standing still. The low-slung seat, razor-sharp tail section, and minimalist front fairing all contribute to an aesthetic that feels more cyberpunk than classic cruiser. Powering the LFC 700 is a liquid-cooled, inline four-cylinder engine that displaces 676 cubic centimeters. It's a fairly rare engine configuration in this category, especially from a Chinese manufacturer, and it gives the Benda a performance edge that sets it apart from more traditional V-twin cruisers. Producing around 94 horsepower at 11,000 rpm and 63 Nm of torque at 8,500 rpm, the LFC 700 offers a sport bike-like power band in a cruiser frame. The result is a unique riding experience, one that rewards higher revs, quick shifts, and aggressive throttle input more than the lazy, low-end torque of its cruiser contemporaries. Despite the aggressive styling and engine character, Benda has equipped the LFC 700 with features that aim to balance performance with usability. A 6-speed transmission helps deliver smooth shifts, and a slipper clutch is standard, aiding in downshifts and overall ride comfort. The frame is a steel trellis design, contributing to both rigidity and a relatively lightweight feel, at least by cruiser standards. At around 235 kilograms dry, it's not exactly light, but it's manageable, especially given its long wheelbase and planted geometry. Suspension duties are handled by a beefy 43mm upside-down front fork and a monoshock at the rear. While these components are non-adjustable, they do a solid job of absorbing urban imperfections and handling highway speeds. The bike's long wheelbase does impact agility, especially in tight corners or low-speed maneuvers, but this isn't a machine built for carving canyons. It excels on long, sweeping roads where stability and presence are more important than flickability. Braking is another area where Benda hasn't skimped. The LFC 700 comes with dual front discs paired with radial mount calipers and a single disc at the rear. ABS is standard, providing reassurance in emergency stops and slippery conditions. The braking performance is surprisingly good, with decent bite and progression, though the massive rear tire does influence the bike's behavior under hard braking, sometimes requiring a firmer hand. One of the most intriguing aspects of the LFC 700 is how it blends raw mechanical presence with refined electronics. There's no ride-by-wire system or advanced traction control, but it does offer essentials like full LED lighting, a TFT digital instrument cluster, and selectable ride modes in some variants. The display is clear and modern, offering vital information like gear position, RPM, speed, fuel level, and trip data. It might not rival the electronics suite of premium European bikes, but it offers enough to feel current without overwhelming the rider. Ergonomically, the LFC 700 strikes a middle ground. The seating position is cruiser-like but not excessively laid back. Foot pegs are positioned slightly forward, and the handlebars are wide but within reach, creating a comfortable triangle for medium to long rides. The seat itself is minimalist in appearance but reasonably cushioned, although passengers may find the rear perch too small for extended journeys. For solo riders, however, it offers a balanced mix of comfort and support, allowing for hours of riding without undue fatigue. When it comes to real-world performance, the LFC 700 surprises. The inline-four engine means you'll need to keep it spinning above 6,000 rpm for spirited riding, but once in its power band, the bike feels lively and urgent. It doesn't quite match the low-end grunt of a large V-twin, but it compensates with smooth revs and a satisfying surge toward its red line. Cruising at highway speeds feels effortless, with the engine ticking along in the mid-range and the chassis offering excellent stability. There's also a sense of mechanical polish here that belies its price point, with the engine and transmission working in harmony more fluidly than many would expect from a relatively young brand. In terms of quality and build, the LFC 700 marks a noticeable evolution for Chinese motorcycles. Fit and finish have improved significantly compared to earlier efforts from the region. The paint quality is solid, fasteners and welds are clean, and there's an evident attention to design detail, particularly in areas like the machine triple clamps, the minimalist lighting, and the integrated rear turn signals. It's not flawless, and some plastics still feel a bit budget-oriented, but overall, it presents itself as a legitimate alternative to Japanese and American middleweights. Then there's the price, which is perhaps the LFC 700's biggest weapon. Depending on the market, it undercuts major rivals by thousands of dollars while offering more aggressive styling and comparable, if not superior, specs. For riders who want something that stands out, performs well, and doesn't break the bank, the LFC 700 delivers exceptional value. It's not trying to be another Harley or Yamaha clone, it's establishing its own niche, and that alone makes it an attractive proposition. Of course, there are caveats. Brand recognition remains a hurdle. Benda doesn't yet carry the legacy or dealer network of more established manufacturers, which could affect after-sales support and resale value. Some riders may also be skeptical about long-term durability, though early reports suggest that the LFC 700 is holding up well. The unique styling is a love-it-or-hate-it affair. Some will find it stunning, others too extreme. But what can't be denied is that Benda has built a motorcycle that gets people talking, and that's half the battle won in a crowded market. The 2025 Benda LFC 700 isn't just another cruiser, it's a statement. It's a declaration that Chinese manufacturers are no longer content with playing in the entry-level segment. With bold styling, real-world performance, and a price tag that undercuts many of its peers, the LFC 700 is a symbol of how far the industry has come. It offers a different flavor in a world of familiar tastes, and for riders seeking individuality, it might just be the dark horse they never saw coming. Ultimately, the LFC 700 isn't for everyone, and that's exactly why it works. It dares to be different, and in doing so, it gives riders something rare. A machine that feels genuinely fresh. Whether you're a seasoned motorcyclist or a newcomer to the world of cruisers, the LFC 700 demands a second look. Not just because it's from a lesser-known brand, but because it might just be the motorcycle that proves the future of two wheels is far more diverse than we ever imagined.